Welcome to our first Trust and Will webinar. My name is Allison and I'm a member success specialist here at Trust and Will. I'm so excited to have everyone here today, and I hope after this you leave feeling confident in creating your own estate plan here with us. A couple things before we get started. I wanted to point out a couple of the buttons at the bottom of your screen. So you'll see there's actually a Q&A button. So as we go through the slides, you'll be able to ask your questions there. Meg, one of our other member success team members, will be on there answering questions as we go, but at the end, I'll also have a Q&A session answering any questions. Just please don't include any type of personal information in your questions as we will be answering them in the public setting. Let's get started. So we'll be walking through a different type of sections today. So we'll be accessing your estate plan, your Trust and Will account, editing your estate plan, paying for your estate plan, downloading or requesting document shipping, the signing requirements for each different type of document, updating your estate plan, funding your trust, and lastly, like I said before, going back to those Q&As, making sure we get all your answers, all your questions answered. So we'll go ahead and get started. So accessing your Trust and Will account. So getting back into your account, you'll want to visit trustandwill.com from a computer, a smartphone, or a tablet. At the top right of your screen, you'll see the login button. So once you're there, you'll want to go ahead and click that, and it'll take you to our second page where you can either use your Google, your Facebook, or your email address to access your account. If you forgot your password, no big deal. Just hit that reset button right under the password section, and we'll get you back into your account in no time. And if you are having any type of issues, or you can't remember your email address, reach out to us and we're more than happy to get you back in your account. So we offer all kinds of different support here at Trust and Will. One of the many ways you can access it is through our chat function. It's located on the lower left-hand side in your document on any page. So at any point in time, you can access a member success specialist like myself, and we're there to answer questions. And if we're not there, you'll get a message saying we're not there, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And just keep in mind that we can't offer you legal advice there, but we do offer legal advice through our attorney support in the top right-hand corner. Our attorney support is currently offered in Texas, Pennsylvania, New York, and California, with several other states on their way. So I highly recommend checking out the attorney support button and seeing what it includes. Now we're going to talk about your estate plan. And editing your estate plan is a big part of what we want you to do here at Trust and Will. We want to make sure that you can customize your documents as much as you can, and we want to make sure we can accommodate you and your pace when creating your estate plan. So we allow you to edit your documents in several different ways and as many times as you want before purchase. So if you want more time to think about what assets you want to leave, gifts you want to add, or people you want to appoint for different roles, you can. One of the many ways you can is by editing a whole section at a time. So when you log into your account, you'll be taken immediately to the summary page, and it'll look exactly like this one pictured. As you go through, you'll be able to scroll down, and we'll take you through the basics section, the guardian section, the assets section, the distributions. We'll take you through all of the things that make up your entire estate plan. And you can actually click on the right-hand side, and it'll take you back to the first question in that section in order for you to get back in there, see all the questions we actually asked you before, and really get to customize your documents exactly how you want. Now, you will be taken to the summary page upon logging in, but that doesn't mean that you can't navigate across the pages and come back. So at the top of your page, you'll see we have a summary page, the documents page where you can access all documents and preview those before purchase, the people page to see who you've appointed and what roles they'll hold, and the support page. Like I mentioned earlier, we have several different ways that you can reach us here and we can provide support to you. And so all four of those are easily navigated by getting into your account. The next section we're talking about is paying for your estate plan. So once you go ahead and you click out that checkout button in the top right-hand corner of your account, it'll take you to this page. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to see all the documents that are included in your estate plan. We'll let you know if you are a spouse account that it's going to be included for you and your spouse and what documents you're going to be getting. That we do provide free printing and shipping for your first order, and you do get a year worth of unlimited updates. As you continue to check out, you'll see we have two different options. You can pay in 4 interest-free payments, or you can pay with a major credit card. After entering all your information, on the right-hand side, again, we're going to break down the cost and the documents included. After that, you'll be able to add a promo code if you do have one, so make sure you add that before your checkout. And now you have immediate access to your documents. Once you go ahead and pay, like I just said, you'll have immediate access to your documents. So as soon as you hit that pay button, you can be on top of it. You can download your documents, or you can request them for document printing and shipping. To get to your documents, you're going to use the Documents tab at the top of your page on the left-hand side. So once it pulls up this page, you'll actually be able to see that there's all different types of documents in their allotted sections. So you'll have your trust documents, you'll have your will, then you'll have your healthcare documents, and then we'll have a supporting documents section as well. There's a couple different ways to get immediate access to your documents by downloading them. And one of them is the download all button. As you can see, the arrow is pointing to it here. If you click on this button, it'll download it in a zip file, which you can open, and all your documents will be included in that file. If you choose to download each document individually, you can click on that tile shown in the previous screen. It'll open a preview here, which you can always preview your documents pre and post purchase by using the same exact function, clicking on the tile, opening up the document, and really digging into those. If you have any questions about the terminology that's included or where a certain section may be reflective, feel free to reach out. We are more than happy to answer any questions you do have. Our member success team is available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and we are more than happy to answer any type of questions you have. So once you click your download documents, you'll have immediate access to them to your computer. You can re-download them at any time by accessing your account. And as you click on them to open the document, you'll be able to, like I said, review all of that. You can also request shipping for your documents in that exact same tile. So on the left-hand side, you'll see you can click the Ship My Documents tab. It all includes one free shipment, so don't worry if you don't have a printer at home. We're more than happy to print, package, and ship your documents straight to your door. On the top right-hand side, you'll see the Ship My Docs tab. That's another opportunity in order to get your documents sent to you, and it's going to open up our shipping information. We do need your shipping information. It's not automatically applied in your account, so as soon as you enter this and hit submit, you're all set. You can expect your documents between 1 to 2 weeks. Next, we're going to go around signing your documents. So you've done the work, you've gotten your documents created, and now it's time to make sure they're legal and valid. So each document is going to each document is going to come with a different set of instructions. So the front page of every single document, whether you download and print or have us ship you the documents, walks you through how to make those documents legal. It's important to read each one carefully, as each document does come with different instructions. And now we'll kind of go on to updating your estate plan. After you go ahead and you get back into your account, you'll be able to update your estate plan by visiting your summary page, scrolling down onto the question or section that you want to edit, and you can click on that section alone. I know in previous sections, we showed you how you can edit the entire section, but you can actually answer question by question. If you just want to edit your real estate or your financial accounts, your trustees, your beneficiaries, you're able to click on each section and re-answer that question in order to reflect on your documents. Just make sure you hit save and continue after each question to make sure it reflects back in your documents. Now, after you've created your trust, it's time to fund it. We've included a trust funding guide in your documents. in order to make the process easy. You can access it two ways. You can access it by visiting your documents page and scrolling down to the support documents, or it'll be included if you choose to have your documents printed and shipped. When clicking on it, you'll download it the exact same way that you would download any other document in your account. In the guide, it'll look just like the one pictured here, and we'll give you a basic walkthrough of how to transfer different assets into your trust. I'll also be hosting another webinar on February 25th, so be on the lookout for that invitation, and I'll be going into a little bit more about how to fund your trust. What are those next steps? I know that was quick. That was a quick walkthrough. So I would encourage everybody to open up the Q&A section now. And please send in any questions you do have. I'll be answering some of these live, and Meg will also be helping me in the chat. Awesome. So we had a great question come through, and the question is, the amount in assets will fluctuate year to year. Is it necessary to update it? Your asset value, your estimation, is actually just used for creating your documents here at Trust and Will. It's not listed anywhere in your documents, so you actually don't need to update that as it fluctuates. We understand things will fluctuate over time, and that's accounted for in your estate plan. So thanks for asking that question. Another great question. If you own multiple properties, does it still work? Yes, you can add as many real estate properties as you own in your estate plan. We offer it to accommodate all US properties. So no matter what state you do own property in, you're able to list it in your estate plan. Thanks for asking that question. Does the cost cover both spouses? Yes. So we have two different costs of our estate plans here at Trust and Will. We have a $399 option, and that's for a single trust-based estate plan. And we have a couples trust-based estate plan, and that one's $499. That is a flat cost, and it will not change depending on person to person. Let's see. Lots of great questions here, guys. Thank you so much for sending all of these. You'll also be able to send in questions after the webinar as well, but I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. Another great question that came through was if you have real estate in other states, you're more than welcome to list those in the trust of which you're created, of which the state you live. So if I live in California, but I own property in Texas, I can list the Texas property in my California trust. It'll be a different process in funding your trust, but you're more than welcome to list any type of US property. Another great question we got was, if you already have a revocable living trust, can you use Trust and Will to update it? And that answer is yes. You can update most existing trust through our site. To get started, you would go in, create an account, and while you're answering the questions, we'll ask you if you have an existing trust. Just make sure you click yes, and we'll walk you through those next steps. Another awesome question. You guys are killing it with all the questions here. So for a couple, do both people need to be a US citizen to use our platform? And that answer is no. You do not need to be a US citizen to create an estate plan here in the United States. You just need to be a resident in the state in order to have your documents notarized. Another great question we got was, if I already have an estate plan and I choose to create one with Trust and Will, does that cancel out my previously created estate plan? And it's best to look at those documents. If you've already created a trust, you'll want to update that existing trust. If it hasn't been funded, you do have the option to create a new trust. But if you do have a created will and you choose to create a new trust and will, that'll go ahead and replace that existing will, only making your new one the valid one. I've got a lot of questions about funding your trust here, and I highly recommend all of you attending our webinar on the 25th, because I'll be going into a little bit more. I see some about real estate, some about bill of transfer as blanket for all different types of assets. And I will be going through and breaking down the different ways to fund your trust with different types of assets in that webinar. Awesome. There are lots of great questions here, you guys. Another great question is, how long does it typically take to complete a trust with trust and will? So our documents are created to be created at your own pace. So you can go as fast or as slow as you would like. As you create your documents, if you want more time to think on them, we do allow you to save all of your answers and go back in at your pace. So it's really up to you. It can be done within a day, a week, as long as it's done to meet all of your needs. You can take as long or as little as you'd like. Awesome. Another great question we got was, once you have your paperwork notarized, is the trust considered valid and active? So once you go ahead and you follow through with the steps listed on that front page of the documents, like I talked about in the signing requirement section, your trust is now legal and valid. By taking that next step to fund your trust protects your assets, but at that time, your trust is now legal and valid. Thank you for asking that question. Another good question is, do you have to pay more if you have more than one accounts to include in your trust? And that's no. Like I said, with property and real estate, you can also list as many financial accounts as you have in your trust. That cost will not change for you. Another great question we got was, are you able to nominate a guardian for your children in the trust? And that's true. You can nominate a guardian and it'll be included in your pour over will. That's included in our trust-based estate plan. Mm-hmm. And I will be sending out a copy of the webinar after it closes, so you'll get a copy of it tomorrow if you'd like to review it and rewatch it, maybe go back over as you have more questions, so everybody will be able to get that. Another awesome question we got was, do we have any type of customer satisfaction data from people who have prepared their estate plan through us? And we do. We have reviews through the BBB website or trustpilot.com. You can access both through our website. You'll see a little 5 stars on our site, and you can click on that to read all real and verified reviews from people who have used trustandwill.com. I highly recommend it. It's great to see. I love reading them myself, but it'll also give you that peace of mind while creating your estate plan through us. Awesome. I'm trying to get through all of these There's a lot of great questions in here, you guys. And like I said, I apologize if we do not get to your question. We will be more than happy to answer those through the chat function, or you can always reach out to us another day. So we got a great question, and it's, what's the difference between a will and a trust? So the wills and trusts are both really common estate plan documents. Wills are simpler documents that let you say what happens to your kids and your pets, where your assets will go, and what type of final arrangements you'll have. A will has a little bit less control over when and how assets are distributed, and a will also does go through the probate process after your death. A trust gives more control over when and how your assets are distributed, and they take a little bit more effort to set up and transfer the assets into the trust. But it provides a huge benefit because the trust can minimize or avoid probate entirely. And that's the biggest benefit of putting in the extra time and money into creating a trust. We actually have a great site that you can visit. It's trustandwill.com/compare. And we'll break down all the differences of a trust and a will. But thank you for asking that question. All right. I'm going to try to answer a couple more questions here. A great question we got was, what's the difference between a revocable and irrevocable living trust? We don't offer irrevocable trust here at Trust and Will. Irrevocable trusts are pretty uncommon and not really used in a lot of types of estate planning. Many people are thinking of an irrevocable trust, but really mean they want a revocable trust, which probably accounts for about 95% of trusts created are revocable living trust. Irrevocable living trusts are a little bit more complicated and require a lot more people involved in order to edit your trust down the line after creation. Awesome. And yes, you will be all receiving a link to the webinar on the 25th after this webinar. So tomorrow you'll receive an email and I'll have a survey about the webinar. It'll also include a promo code for a discount on your estate plan from the webinar and a link to register for that webinar on the 25th. And once again, the site to read our reviews is Trustpilot. You'll be able just to type in Trustpilot, Trust and Will, and it'll pull up all of the reviews, verified reviews from users, just like you guys. Awesome. And I'm going to take about a couple more questions, so make sure you get those in, guys. And then I will be concluding the webinar. Awesome. A great question we got was, what do you do after you receive the trust documents? So going back to the signing requirements page that I had mentioned earlier, you'll want to follow each individual instruction that's listed on that page. Most documents do require a notary and 2 witnesses at time of your signature, but it's always best to check that front page of your your documents. It will vary based on the type of document. So some do require that, some don't. But again, it's going to vary from state by state. They are state specific. Yeah, and another question we got was, can I restate the states that have attorney support? So currently we have live attorney support in Texas, California, Pennsylvania, and New York. So you're able to get an attorney to review your documents line by line, talk to you about all your estate planning needs, talk about tax consequences or any other questions you have that our success team is not able to answer for you. So you're more than welcome to explore it by visiting that top right-hand corner. It'll say attorney support. When you're in your account, it'll break down what you get and the cost of it as well. Another great question, who can be my witness? So your witnesses must be over the age of 18, not related to you, and not named in your documents. And you pay for the trust whenever you're ready. Whenever you'd like to have those documents, if after you've reviewed your documents and you're ready to move forward with either downloading them or having them printed and shipped to you, that's when we'll require payment. And for attorney support, we'll be rolling out a lot of states this year. So if your state was not mentioned, if you click on that top right-hand corner of the attorney support, we'll make sure to let you know when it is available in your state. Another great question. Does the package include both the trust and the will? And that answer is yes. Your trust-based estate plan includes your trust, your revocable living trust, your pour over will, your HIPAA authorization, your advanced healthcare directive, which includes your living will and medical power of attorney, and a financial power of attorney as well. So we make sure that you are covered when you leave trust and will. Awesome, you guys. And I'm going to take one more question and then we'll wrap up here. So many great questions, you guys. And like I said, I highly recommend if your questions are not getting answered here, we do have a lot coming through. Please reach out to our member success team. We're more than happy to answer your question on chat or maybe schedule you for a phone call and kind of talk about the personalization that you can do with your documents. All right, finding a great one to answer. A big shout out to Meg and Cody who are in the Q&A answering questions left and right. They're a huge help here and make it awesome. Looks like there's a couple of raised hands. You guys, if you do have questions, please go ahead and just submit them through the Q&A. That'll be the best way for me to get them. I found a great question and one that I'd love to answer. So this will be our last question for this section. So it says, what's the difference between a trustee and a beneficiary? So a trustee, think of it as a CEO, right? So somebody who takes over your trust after you've passed. They'll be in charge of designating where your assets go and make sure that the correct people get it. They can't make any changes to your trust. So they'll just make sure that everything that's listed in your trust is executed. They don't receive portion of your estate from you. They don't have to be a beneficiary. They can be someone else. And a beneficiary is somebody you want to receive your estate. They don't hold any type of role. They don't have any type of job in the trust. They're just somebody who will receive a portion or a direct asset. If you left them a gift, they would be receiving the gift. And if you left them a percentage of your estate, they'd be receiving your estate. So Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate